manufacturing, technology, hot topics, and a little bit of tomfoolery. This is the MTD Podcast.
Welcome. That's 3 welcomes because I'm joined by 3 people. MTD Podcast. This is the open season special. Lucky I don't have a speech impediment, isn't it? So I think let's get straight into it. October is...
busy.
Frenetic. Yeah. Other words we can use?
I love the way you called it open season. It's open house season.
Oh, that told me off, didn't it? Well, I was going to ask you what the first one is, Paul, but you can start off now. So I'm going to do the first one. It's actually Citizen, and that is, well, you did a video as well, didn't you? And you got it slightly wrong. So apologies to anybody out there. 1st and 2nd of October, they're showcasing the L12 Type 10, so more powerful and more tooling on the back. I'm getting out of breath here. I'm so excited. And finance deals, you can get 0% finance and 0 deposit. What does that mean to you and me? You can afford a machine now. There you go. So that's the first one. Next one, I am thinking, it's got 6 sides. What is it?
Hexagon.
There you go. Sharp as a bowling ball. Lyndsey, you can tell us about that one.
Okay, so a Hexagon Life event. They've got a lot of people attending so far. Over 3,000 to 4,000 people.
3,000 to 4,000.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what the general attendance for these live events is. Unbelievable. But when you see what... Sorry, Lyndsey.
No.
But when you see what happens...
Yeah, back to Lyndsey, please. So what can we expect from this? What can these 3,000 or 4,000 people at least expect?
Basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to showcase to you the whole product lifestyle from the beginning all the way to the end. So, am I right there?
Yeah. It's the whole... it's like joining the dots together. It's the lifespan.
The whole
so you go
life
from raw
cycle.
billet to the end.
So basically, if everything from the design to the CAD/CAM development to the manufacturing to the metrology is really what Hexagon MI is about, and that's what these events are about. They do them around the world, but this one's at the Belfry, it's in Birmingham, isn't it?
It's just outside of Birmingham. It's quite good connections, actually.
And it's on the this one's on the 1st.
It is on the 1st,
which is next Tuesday.
Yep.
They're breakout sessions where they have speakers and you know more intimate groups, 30 to 40 people, where you can.
Where I come from now.
Yeah, these sessions are really, really good because it talks about the future, where we're going in this industry, women in engineering and within the industry, how to get young people into the industry as well, apprenticeships. And I think what they're trying to do, and I find that a lot of companies, when we talk to them, they're trying to educate people when they're coming along to these things. It's not just, buy what we have here, but it's about educating and putting people in the ideology, mindset of the future.
Brilliant. Okay, and I think 2 great things there. Not just trying to flog their product. I mean, that's a bit harsh, but also apprentices, because that's key. Lack of apprentices in this industry. Next one, and this is about maybe my writing's not very good. Turnkey Excellence. Is that right, Gio? Do you know about this? Or
it looks like you're going to kill a turkey in that hat, or rob a turkey.
Fortunately, it's a podcast, no one can see it. But
everyone wants on your head.
Hair, unlike Paul and Joe. I've got a Swarf and Chips beanie. I think it's Well Street, man, but clearly you don't. Anyway,
I'm quite excited. Yeah, I'm quite excited about this event.
Swarf and Chips beanie?
No, definitely not. No.
So Turnkey Excellence.
I think Turnkey...
Discover Turnkey Excellence.
Turnkey is something that's becoming more and more apparent in our industry over the last 5 to 10 years. I think that in the past, end user companies would have made their own jigs, fixtures. They would have just been interested in buying the machine tools on their own without any fixtures, jigs or tooling, work holding. The skills level, I believe, in the past may have been higher than it is now to a certain degree.
Controversial statement, Gio.
The skilled engineers have got different roles now than they did in the past, maybe if I word it in that way. But technology is evolving all the time. And for a company like HxGN, they've got Hi4 as well under their umbrella of companies. And I think this event is going to really showcase what a turnkey package really is. And I'm really excited to see it.
I know from talking to the guys there that they've had hundreds of registrations already, which when you set out upon setting up an event like this, one of the things you worry about is, how many people are going to turn up? Is anyone going to turn up? Everybody has the same fear. But I think HxGN have been really encouraged by the fact that they've had so many registrations for the event. Machines types that are going to be there's going to be the Chiron machines, which everyone knows for the high-speed productivity of them, the twin spindle milling machines, 5-axis machines, as well as the Nakamura, which you saw as well, didn't you?
Yeah, the MX100 new multitasking machine we saw out in Emo. Honestly, this This is one of two machines from Emo that absolutely blew my mind. It's so fast, it's so quick. There's something going on. You one side you see a spindle, then you've got something else. The other side, it's just the movement on it is unreal. What
your head was going like?
I know. It was all over the place.
Span round 360.
Yeah, that'd be like a poltergeist or something like that.
No, it's an owl, isn't it?
Well, both actually. Yeah. Who?
You've got Quasar, you've got Hardinge Bridgeport machines. They're showing their HK Technology, the Mitsubishi EDM machines as well, and we will be standing next to those machines presenting, because it's a bit of a putting their sales guys on the spot event.
Let's hope
Controversial. I think they've got ABB robots here as well, have they not?
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I'm sure they would have.
Part of one of the sales.
Part of one of the sales. There's a lot of sales there, and the sale will essentially have, how you got a raw billet, and how do you get from there to the finished part, and that includes the development of the project, the management of the project, all the accessories that go around the machine tool. But they're all focused on different targeted areas of machines. So even down to a 3-axis Hardinge Bridgeport, there's an element of turnkey intelligence on that, as well as right up to a Barvius 5-axis.
So basically, if an engineer wants a
machine.
total solution, you've got to get yourself there.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I would add that they're doing differently here as well is they have... And I thought it was great when they asked us. They said, look, we want to try and do something a little bit different here. We want MTD to be involved. We know the draw and the power of the audience. Can you guys come along and be involved in the presenting of the machines at certain times throughout the day? And that's exactly what we'll be doing. Lyndsey will
the
be
lovely
doing
Lyndsey
that.
will be presenting.
I
Big
think
challenge.
With this particular open house, I think it's great because I think it really illustrates that it's not just all about the machine tool, and I think that they're bringing all elements of the process in, and I think it also shows and illustrates the way in which the market is going in the UK. In the past we've been associated with one-offs, two-offs, special work, but we're starting to win more higher volume work where you need dedicated process. Turnkey packages are the way forward for them and for us to be competitive.
That's about reassuring, isn't it? Bringing it all back from China. Anyway, moving along. Now, the star of the show, or that's leaning into you, I think, Paul. Go on.
Yeah, the Star Open House, which is on the 8th, 9th and 10th of October. That's going to be... There's differences there as well to the normal open house. Automation's also at this show. Now, you'll think of a sliding head lathe and you'll think that it's about an element of automation in itself because it's continually making components. But, the taking of those parts off of the machine and the putting them into, the packaging area or however it works. But the end of line element, there is automation at the show showing that as well. There's also the new SX38 machine, which is a machine that's far more powerful than its predecessor. It's got 11 kilowatts on the front and the main spindle, which is unusual for sliding head technology. But of course, you've got guide bush, non-guide bush, a multitude of axes and tools available on this machine as well. It goes up to 42 mil.
So, I've discovered there's a problem. These machines are now so efficient that you don't have big enough bar feeds or parts catchers in. Is that going to cover off that issue?
I think
as
that's
well?
the idea. The idea is, one of the things, and when I heard that Fanuc were working with Star to produce this solution at the show, I thought actually it's kind of what these things have been missing because you've got a machine that's making parts throughout the night and they're all dropping into a bin or a basket, but you need a massive bin or a massive basket.
They just get damaged.
And they get damaged, yeah. So you need those sorts of solutions. So that will be on show there.
Working together, making... just working together is more powerful, isn't it? And I think that's what a lot of the companies are doing now.
Collaborations.
And I think a great thing as well is, I think you said it as well, but they're actually, these machines are now stealing work from the milling machines and they're putting them on the sliding head machines because they can. Lyndsey, you don't have to put your hand up. You're not in school. And this is a podcast, so no one can see it. But go on.
But you did. Colin, there's also some schmoochy technology there.
Oh, you calling me a schmoozy?
No.
Oh, what is it then?
No, basically, this is a new technology from Star. And it's all about pulling data from the machines and improving processes. And they've got the HFT.
yeah.
They've got quite a bit alongside it that you can learn that Star produce their own
programming
software.
to help you out because you look at the more complicated parts now. You think, how are we going to program that? Have the software there for that. They have the HFT for swath control. Then they have the schmoozy to ensure you're getting the most efficiency out of your machine. And then the robotics and the automation, all of that together is just adding to that.
I think that's what Gio's alluded to previously in terms of these machines are getting so complicated. you need the software and the
skills.
skills.
I think that the hardware can only be improved to a certain degree. You're getting minimal games now through the hardware, through the mechanical aspects of any machine tool. Now all the massive games, the big games, are coming through the software and incorporating the two.
Right.
See, as you get older and more intelligent, you get even more complicated too, don't you?
I do. Yeah, that's right. As my
Colin,
as my current
just so complicated.
my current squeeze tells me. I won't tell you his name. Joking. Right. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to let you. The next open house, Gio, this is for you. Yeah. Go on. I know you like this.
You're putting me on the spot here because I can't pronounce my H.
Yeah, who is it?
Herco.
Oh, it's Herco. Hey.
So
Good lad. You've been practicing that for the
one of my
half hour.
favourites. It's
last half hour.
New facility in High Wycombe, I believe. I haven't visited yet. So in High Wycombe.
Okay. Yeah.
So really looking forward to visit that. One of my favourite companies. Really good bunch of people that work there. They've got some fantastic products now available, and they're just going from strength to strength, aren't they?
Dave Waghorn was telling me the other day in an interview that the company, if you look back at the records over the past decade, it's almost like year on year, 20% growth, 30% growth. The company's just gone from strength to strength. And, I've got to say, a lot of it comes down to that their control system is so favoured, isn't it? I know you're putting it.
Yeah. Don't need to put your hand up.
Sorry to interrupt, but I've got to, with Herco, I've dealt with them in the past, for many years now, and I think that it's one company that it's not just about the product, it's the people behind the product. They are outstanding people. They've been with the organisation since the inception, really, since I've never seen anyone leave, and I think that is a massive part of the company's strength because of the support, the service, and then it's backed up with a really good product that's continuously evolving as well. Everyone that I've spoke to that's bought a Herco has only got good things to say not about just the machine, but the people.
And did you know that showroom is now, I think it's more than doubled in size. So it's the 9th of October.
Brilliant.
Okay, I'm going to move on, but I just want to reiterate on that point. It's not about just selling a machine, is it? About the service beforehand, during, and afterwards. Yeah. Longevity, if I can use that. I've got some of that because I'm the oldest one here. Anyway, next one. You must be Mills
CNC, yeah. They've got another giant leap, which is happening on the 9th and 10th of October. Now, this event, I was at Mills last week talking to the guys there, I've been back a couple of times looking at the different technologies that are going to be on show. We all know that Doosan sell, hundreds of machines a year, very competitively priced, good quality machines. But what they really want to show off at this event is the advanced technologies that they can offer too.
Pallet loaders, as an
example?
Pallet
loaders, they've got their DVF 5000 with an AWC. I think it's a four-piece, or it might even be an 8-piece pallet solution. But that will be there. There'll also be the SMX series doing gear skiving, which we're hearing and seeing so much about.
They introduced their own automation as well, Paul?
On to the gear skiving?
Yeah.
Not at this show, I don't believe.
Right, yeah.
But the 5-axis machines we saw at Timtos, if you remember, Metalubra Botka, if I can say that, Russia.
Well, it's that machine with a pallet solution added to it.
But also at EMO, we saw the big pallet solution where it could take billets up to, let me get this right, I think it was 400 kilos.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah. I mean, their event, again, Tony Dale was telling me how, again, the registrations for their event have been very high as well. But they've also got the Doosan cobots there. Which is quite new to Mills CNC, the training academy. So again, as we travelled around, we looked at the technologies, then we looked at the training, and then we spoke about the support, and that was a big message again, as we've said already, that it's harnessing all of those assets that you have and bringing them together.
With those cobots, are they moving because at EMO again? I think people won't get the vibe. But we went to EMO, but. Those cobots moving from machine to machine?
Well, this is what we were talking about in our earlier on, and you're right. Yeah, I saw that.
Right, that's why I asked it.
I saw that, and they're intelligent. They're moving from machine to machine again. Not one robot per machine, but one robot feeding several machines.
Amazing.
And I think this is a big thing now. We see it in Europe, and it's now in the UK. And I think as all these events we talk about, there is a big part of automation to it. There's 15 machines there, I think 4 of which are new from Mills CNC, and it's called another giant leap.
Okay. Paul, I don't want to be controversial in this podcast, but I mean, there's so many different open houses in October. We've just come back from EMO, fantastic exhibition, but do you believe that these exhibitions, shows are becoming more of a thing of the past, or will become more of a thing of the past, because these OEMs seem to be having more and more open houses, having a selected audience within their own facilities. They're investing more into their own facilities. And I think that they've got more time to really explore the products going to these open houses rather than going to a show.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, you said open houses. So just to clarify, you think big shows might be a thing of the past and more concentrating on open houses?
I don't know. I'm just putting it out there.
Open that can of worms.
I kind of do agree, and I disagree in a sense, because these shows cost so much for people. But as much as we love our phones and social media and thinking the world's smaller, we're only ever going to learn and open our eyes to new technology. You know, if you are limited for time, which all of us do have, you know, we've all got busy lives. You go to one place, and then you're going to see all of those people who have invested into being together. You see the competition, and you're more likely to go to something like that than travel the length and breadth of the country and see one piece of technology in the next month.
I think it's cyclic, and I think that
I'd drive there personally.
But I agree. I think if I was buying a car, right, I might have in my mind that I like a particular brand, and I might go to that showroom. But I would always probably, if there was a car showroom that had all of the models and the brands there, I think that's quite an efficient...
motor show, possibly.
There you go. It's quite efficient use of time to go and where I can compare. When I say cyclic, I mean, if some of these open houses go bad, they might not do one next year. If they go well, they will. But at some point, unfortunately, there is, you know, someone's going to cop a bad one, aren't they? Because everyone can't go everywhere, unfortunately.
No.
So I think it's about the message that you're putting across, you know, and because everyone can't go everywhere. So I've never seen so many events in such a short space.
We are running out of time, so we need to crack on. I'm going to say to you, well, if I want to see a Muratech machine, where would I go?
Well, that would be Matsura. So Matsura's open house is the 8th, 9th and 10th of October as well. Their open houses, again, they really stand out, certainly in their new showroom facility. Really,
they've got a new showroom as well.
New showroom, clean, crisp machines.
The other one wasn't.
No. I'm saying that they have a, you know, their presence in the market has grown in recent years as a result of, you know, the 5-axis technology that they've brought to market with the 520 and then the 330 pallet machine. They've entered into the SME market in a big way. So I can imagine that this show will draw the crowds as well, especially the fact that what have they got, Lyndsey?
They've got the HP 3D printing as well.
Yeah, but also the MX.
From that, the MX850 with a 4-pallet loader. This machine is, as I was saying earlier, you know, when I said there was a couple of machines that blew my mind, this is the other one.
Okay, so you've got 4 pallets. I mean, I've seen the 6-pallet ones and things like that. What
I found interesting on the 4-pallet is that with the work holding, you can put like multiple pieces on there. So I think what we saw at EMO, and there was 9 different components on every single pallet. And you do the math there, 9 times 4, Colin?
28. It's not, it's 36.
It's not, it's 36. 36. But it's not just all about having the same component over and over again. They're all different components, and it's the big 5-axis.
Well, that's what people think. They think, I'm going multi-pallet, whatever it is. I'm going to have to go big batch runs. It's not necessarily that. So, but
it's far from it, isn't it? It's totally the opposite. And then the other thing we saw at EMO, which again will be at the Matsura Open House, is the Muratech machines, and they move like lightning. You know, we're talking, I think they've got 2 models at the event. Have been a popular seller for them. I've been to visit at least 3 or 4 companies down in the southeast that have bought the Muratech machines, twin turret, twin spindle, Y-axis. But the gantry facility on them, I mean, the speed they move.
Even the gantry's really...
I mean, it's just...
What sort of speed, or you not got the...
You know, it's faster than you, put it that way. It's faster than you run.
To be honest, that doesn't really set how
No, actually.
That's not much of a challenge, is it, really?
You could have chosen any of us there, Paul, you know?
Maybe a Lamborghini.
Yeah, but they are exceptionally quick machines. They will have their HP 3D printing range there. They'll have their horizontals, their pallet solutions. I would imagine that this event will be a busy event over the course of the 3 days. They did one earlier in the year that was busy, so it's certainly a good show.
With that 3D printing, did they, and correct me if I'm wrong here, you probably will, 3D printing fixturings and things like that? That was a great solution.
3D printing the fixtures that go on the machines and then the parts that go onto the 3D fixtures.
Yeah, right, okay. I'm going to move you on again. Right, now I've got to get this right, otherwise Steve Finn will tell me off. DMG Mori. I reckon that's got Lyndsey's name written all over it.
15th, 16th, 17th and 18th. The 18th is the day, that's the Friday when all of the apprentices go. I know Steve Finn is really into apprentices and bringing the people through. They've got the World Skills Show that they're part of as well, that they do at the NEC, which I personally have been to. It's a fantastic show. So they just encourage everybody, any person who's part of the company, to go along to the event. Okay, so what their theme of their show is bringing emo back. They're probably one of the biggest brands at emo in terms of
Well, they've got their own hall, haven't
They've got
they?
their own
Yeah.
hall. So what they do is they're bringing the theme back, and their theme, you may have guessed it, automation. That's what it is. It's automation, and it's with DMG Mori. It's their own automation as well. It's not that you go there and they are providing that solution as well.
Not a third-party solution.
Okay, but automation, I'm thinking all sorts of different solutions. What sort of automation can you expect?
They have robotics on lathes there, so where you'll see, like for example, like the robo job that we know, the hydro feed supply, similar types of solutions to that. They'll have their RPC system, which I saw. I think it was RPS system. I think it is that I saw in Fronton, which is integrated onto the machines, pallet loading. Where you can have, I think it's either 4, 12 or 16 or 20 pallets on the machine. So, there's 11 machines. There's 3 different 5-axis machines. There's the additive program as well. If you were fortunate enough to go to EMO and go to Hall 2, where it was their hall, they had just less than 100 machines. I think 27 of them had automation solutions on. But it just shows where they go.
You mentioned the additives. Sorry, you mentioned the additives. So they're doing 3D printing as well?
They will have an additive solution there.
Oh, okay. I've not heard of that
or
before.
lasers and everything. They're out in front, aren't they?
And I've seen actually where they've been cutting tooling. They've been printing tooling as applications with their. I think is it the Laser Tech? I can't remember the exact.
Yes, it is.
It's the Laser Tech machine.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I think with the automation DMG Mori, I think that there's one great example, the turn mill. They've got a bar feeder, a robot, and a gantry on. So it's kind of.
Hold on, just say that again.
So you've got a turn mill. So it's like it's a lathe with milling capability, 5th axis. You can bar feed.
Okay.
You can have a robot outside of it. So if you're doing billet work, not bar feeding, and you can also have a gantry over the top as well. So you've got all different options on one machine tool.
Why would you do that?
So if you were just running bar, you just use the bar feed. You wouldn't use the robot. Well, you might use the robot to take out the billet and stack. But you wouldn't use the gantry, or vice versa. You'd use the gantry or the robot. Or if you were just doing billet work but not bar work, you wouldn't use the bar feed, and you just use. So it gives you all options, all possible options. So
when you're costing jobs, you what's the best way to do that one? Oh well, we'll tell you what, we'll use the robot.
It's clever.
Okay.
I've got a question, just one for Gio. This is
You
kind of going.
didn't put your hand up, Lyndsey. There you go. Thank you.
There you go.
Lyndsey, your
totally
question.
off
Got to put your
topic.
hands up with Colin.
Yeah.
You don't
You don't get a word in edgeways. I've got a question for you then. This is going off topic. Heinberg. What we saw when we were at EMO, we saw them removing the chuck.
Yeah,
isn't that quite interesting as
basically,
well?
what Heinberg brought into EMO, and I really wish I'd brought this into another podcast as well, and maybe we can do a podcast on it. It's brilliant. So basically, what they've incorporated is when you're changing work holding on a lathe, you have to take whatever work holding it is off the spindle nose and off the draw tube connector. So you've got to screw it off. It's quite a big operation, really. It can take time. It's a lot of time to do this. Now they've designed a new adapter plate, very thin adapter plate that will accommodate for all their different types of work holding. So the front end would either be a free draw chuck, a collet chuck, a face plate, but the changeover is literally within seconds. And then they've also digitalised their work holding now with chips in. So they're being part of Industry 4.0 in lots of different ways. What they do works, and the automation side of it as well, Lyndsey, with the collets, simplified automation as well. So the 3 holes in the collets in which it's used for a manual gun can be quite easily used overnight to change the setups with a robot. So the robot can have the 3 pins in and change the collet. So effectively, by changing the collets, you're changing the size of bar or billet that you're looking to hold. So it's just simple automation.
So
it's like not over-engineered.
Keep it run 24/7.
Change setups during the night, not just running the same job during the night, changing setups during the night.
We saw something like that at Tim Toss, from memory. Leader Chuck, one of their partners, had a robot solution for changing that. So anyway, moving on again. Sorry, guys, but, I'm wary of time because I've got to go home, basically. Iskar, bless you.
Yeah, bless. Iskar. Machining Techniques, 16th and 17th of October in Birmingham. MTD CNC have been invited to this one and are going to be playing a big part in this one too. The key to this is about the different materials and the cutting tools that you should be using to machine these materials to get the best removal rates. Go on, Lyndsey.
What are those materials?
Well,
Off your head, no reading.
It's all right because I can
he's
read
reading.
It's titanium T164 LV.
What's this? This is cutting or using? Or
No, this is the materials.
Right.
Inconel 718. You've got 4130 alloy steels. Do you know those, Gio?
Our proud sponsors, Interco Special Steels and Alloys, would certainly know their materials, and it'd be interesting
Tool
to see.
X39 and 4340 alloys as well.
Yep, I know that one.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure, again, Interco would be a supplier of those.
Well, Les has just said a big thank you there.
But there are the opportunities to go to this event, and these guys have already got hundreds of people registered to come here to these days. They've been promoted. It's been promoted well. And for those that cannot get to the event, we will be broadcasting from there to the thousands within our audience.
The amount of money that they put into R&D Iskar is just phenomenal. The company is in Israel, and I think that the percentage is just ridiculous. They're continuously evolving their products. It's just
You've got to, haven't you? Because you've got to be cutting more efficiently because you've got to be more efficient, but new materials coming out, composites, for example, things like that.
And I think if you do machine any of those types of materials, this is even if it's just to see that you're doing it in the right way, what you can do.
You know what I like about this? It's the first time something's been based around materials, and that's one common thing that all engineers have got in common. But no one's ever says, right, how we're going to cut this? How we're going to cut this?
Show.
This could be not just for a cutting tool, not just for a cutting tool company, but a machine tool company. Well, it could be for any company. I think it's quite clever.
Gio's come up with a
Oh my goodness!
idea there.
Right. No, I think Iskar have come up with that idea.
I'm going to say, guys, the final one now. Go on, Lyndsey. Lyndsey's got a hand up.
Oh no, that wasn't. I was just showing you the final one.
Okay, well, I knew that because I just said it. Oh my God, I'm having to work with here. So now, correct my pronunciation because someone called it the other day Fanuc, or I call it Fanuc. Come on, any?
I'd say Fanuc.
I hear both, but it's Fanuc UK.
Okay.
I think that's just potato. That's what that is.
I like it, Lyndsey.
Potato, did you say?
Grass or grass?
Do you have a bath or a bar?
Oh, yeah, I have shower. There you go. Anyway, moving on to
you don't.
You know, Joe fell asleep in the bath. Anyway.
Did he?
Yeah,
how'd they get him out? He's stuck in there for 2 days. Go on, moving on to it.
They got
Before
a
I'm
Fanuc crane.
or a Fanuc crane.
Well, they've got a big robot arm that can lift 2.7 tonnes, and that struggled.
Not enough.
Oh, right, okay. So Fanuc, they have got their show, but I interviewed Tom Boucher about this, and it is all about automation. I know Paul's going to mention that in a second, but it is integrating their system partners. They've got the MTC there, they've got Mazak, they've got hopefully some MPs going and people doing some talks there, and it's really to service everybody within the industry and not just metal cutting, but it's not just machine tools, it's the wider market. And it's just to basically say automation is the future.
I think that's key, isn't it? I think, since I've been in the industry, I've noticed it was machine tools, now it's whole solutions, and it's moving even further. It's automation, additive manufacturing.
And it's the digitisation element of this as well. The automation they're both as important as each other. But I think in the UK, Tom Boucher, your interview, Lyndsey, was great with Tom. He's passionate about making automation a big topic here in the UK and improving it because, I think there's a statistics, there's 300 robots per 10,000 employees in Germany, and there's only 71 robots per 10,000 employees here in the UK.
How many in South Korea?
It's even more, isn't it? It's over 1,000. Is it something like 2,000?
No, well, I might be wrong. I think it was
They're
about high 670, I think.
They're either a leader or Singapore, one of those, huge amounts. But Tom was saying that the event is geared towards education. So they're not beating the drum to say, come and buy a Fanuc EDM machine, come and buy a Fanuc robot, come and buy a Fanuc, robo drill or robo cut. These machines will be in operation. They'll be tended as well, or they'll be tending on them. But it's about learning how you can get the best and get the efficiency and make yourself more efficient.
Don't be scared of automation. Even Tom said that, didn't he? He said that's what it is. Just don't be scared of it. Come to this event and learn about it. It's easy,
Throw it out there very quickly then. I'm a machinist. I'm an engineer. I can program. How do I program a robot? Is it easy?
Well, in a lot of cases, you can teach them. And I say that simply.
AI and all that malarkey.
Teaching is on the collaborative robots is dead simple. You'll move it into the machine, pick a part out, move it to where you want to put it. It's learned. It knows what to do.
Go there and find out.
Well, there you go. Great point. So I'm going to close this up now because
that's on the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st of October.
Can I just add?
No,
I think
but go on, you will.
From my experience in sales, the barrier to entry is always people not having any knowledge about the product. If you haven't got no knowledge about a product, you don't invest in the product. So the only way to get people to invest is by educating
and get yourself there, basically. So I'm going to quickly read down this list of the events. So we have, and if I miss any out, Citizen, Hexagon, ETG, Star, Herco, Mill CNC, Matsuura, DMG Mori, Iskar, Fanuc. Any more to add? One more point from you, Paul?
No. I think that they're all, if engineers can get to all of them, why not? But if you can't, then obviously you're going to have to pick whichever fits. But
we'll be covering the events anyway. So if you can't make it to the event, you can watch it on MTD CNC.
Your turn yet, Gio. Lyndsey, put your hand up. Your turn.
I was just saying, we're at all of the events. We're going to have some good fun as well. So come over, meet us, and watch the videos and comment and like and follow.
Watch, like,
Not
and
you,
subscribe.
Colin.
No, it's all right. And Gio, it is now your turn. Go on.
Keep
Paul,
those
can you
pallets
talk to us a
spinning.
bit? Yeah.
Keep those pallets spinning.
Go and have a bath.
That's
Well done.
Don't high five me. Guys, on that note, the Open House Season Special MTD Podcast. I didn't even write that down to remember it. Guys, Paul, Lyndsey, Gio, I'd like to say thanks for joining me, but I can't. And I hope you enjoyed listening.
Thank you.
And as I say in Germany, bonjour.